The tone is respectful, intelligent, and human-positive, exactly fitting your title. She thought humans were stupid until I replied in perfect Vulpine. Diplomatic hall of Station Oris shimmered with soft blue light, reflecting off curved metal walls designed to make every species feel comfortable. Delegates from dozens of worlds gathered in small groups, their voices blending into a low, constant hum. This station was neutral ground, a place where misunderstandings were meant to end before they became wars. At the edge of the hall stood Elias Morgan, a human envoy sent by Earth's Coalition Council. He stood calmly, hands behind his back, eyes quietly observing everything. Too many aliens. Humans looked unimpressive. No claws, no armored skin, no glowing eyes, no natural weapons, just soft bodies and calm faces. That appearance often led to assumptions. Across the hall, a Vulpine delegation entered with graceful confidence. The Vulpines were fox-like beings, tall and slender, with silver-red fur and sharp, intelligent eyes. They were famous for their pride, their complex language, and their belief that intelligence equaled worth. Leading them was Ambassador Lyra, known across several systems for her sharp tongue and sharper mind. She glanced around the hall, her gaze stopping briefly on Elias. Her ears flicked in mild amusement. She leaned toward her aide and spoke softly in Vulpine, a language filled with layered tones and subtle meanings. "So that is the human envoy," she said. "I was expecting something more impressive. They look like fragile thinkers who rely on machines to survive." Her aide chuckled quietly. "They say humans are clever, but I have never seen proof. They barely grasp interstellar etiquette." Lyra's tail swayed in quiet agreement. "They survive because stronger species tolerate them." Neither of them expected a response. Elias shifted slightly and turned toward them. His face remained calm, almost polite. "Inaccurate assumption," he said, speaking perfect Vulpine, every tone precise, every cultural nuance intact. "Human survival is not based on tolerance. It is based on adaptation, cooperation, and long-term strategy." The words struck like a sudden silence. Lyra froze. Her ears stood upright, and her eyes widened just enough to betray shock. Around them, nearby delegates turned their heads, sensing something unusual had occurred. Her aide stared openly. "He spoke our language." "Not just spoke it," Lyra replied slowly, her voice still in Vulpine. "He used the formal dialect, the diplomatic one." Elias inclined his head slightly. "I studied it for 9 years, including historical idioms and regional variations. Your language rewards precision. I respect that." For the first time since entering the hall, Lyra truly looked at him. "Why would a human waste time learning Vulpine speech at such depth?" she asked. "Most species use translators, because translators remove meaning," Elias replied. "And humans learned long ago that meaning matters more than convenience." The hall felt quieter now. Conversations around them faded as word spread that something unexpected was happening. Lyra straightened her posture. "You overheard a private remark." "Yes," Elias said, "but I chose to respond, not to insult, but to clarify." Her tail flicked once. "Clarify what?" "That humans are often mistaken for being simple because we do not advertise our strengths," he said. "We learned early in our history that loud displays attract danger." Lyra studied him, searching for arrogance. She found none, only confidence built on understanding. "Tell me, human Elias," she said, switching to the shared trade language for the benefit of others listening. "What strength do humans possess that we have failed to notice?" Elias paused, choosing his words carefully. "We endure," he said, "not because we're the strongest or fastest, but because we learn from failure. Every disaster, every loss, every mistake becomes data. Over time, that makes us difficult to defeat." Murmurs spread through the hall. A tall reptilian delegate scoffed. "Endurance is common. Many species survive harsh worlds." "Yes," Elias agreed, "but few choose to improve the environment rather than escape it. Humans terraform. We rebuild. We stay." Lyra's eyes narrowed slightly, intrigued rather than offended now. "And yet," she said, "your species arrived late to the stars." "Late," Elias replied, "but not unprepared." A projection activated behind him at his gesture, displaying images of human colonies. Worlds once barren now showed cities, Greenland, oceans, stabilized by human engineering. "We do not rush," he continued. "We observe, we adapt, and when we act, we do so with commitment." The Vulpine delegation whispered among themselves. Lyra raised a hand for silence. "You surprise me," she admitted. "I assumed humans relied on borrowed knowledge." Elias smiled faintly. "All knowledge is borrowed at first. The difference is what you do with it." The station's central chime rang, signaling the beginning of formal negotiations. Delegates moved toward the circular table at the center of the hall. Lyra hesitated, then gestured toward the seat beside her. "Sit," she said. "I wish to hear more." Throughout the session, Elias spoke when necessary and listened when appropriate. He did not dominate the discussion, but when conflict arose, his words carried weight. He referenced Vulpine, historical treaties, ancient mistakes, and cultural values with accuracy that impressed even their elders at one point. A disagreement threatened to stall the talks. Two species argued over trade routes near a shared border. Elias leaned forward. There is an older Vulpine proverb, he said, again in their native tongue. The den that feeds all cubs must be guarded by all hunters. Lyra's breath caught softly. That proverb was rarely spoken outside their homeworld. You suggest shared responsibility, she said. Yes, Elias replied. Not ownership, cooperation. The solution was accepted within minutes when the session ended. Lyra approached Elias privately. You changed my perception today, she said honestly. I believed intelligence was proven through dominance. And now? Elias asked. And now I see it can be proven through restraint, she replied. Humans hide their claws well. Elias chuckled softly. We prefer to keep them metaphorical. Lyra's ears tilted in amusement. Tell me something, human Elias. Why respond when I insulted your species? You could have remained silent. Because silence allows misunderstanding to grow, he said. And misunderstandings become wars. She nodded slowly. You speak like someone who has seen many of them. We have, Elias said quietly. That is why we value peace. Not because we are weak, but because we know the cost of strength without wisdom. As the Vulpine delegation prepared to depart, Lyra paused at the threshold. Elias, she said, from this day forward, I will ensure my people remember that humans are not to be underestimated. He inclined his head. That is all we ask. Understanding before judgment. As the station doors closed behind her, whispers spread across Aura Station. The story traveled fast, from diplomat to trader, from trader to captain. A human envoy had replied in perfect VULPINE. And in doing so, reminded the galaxy of something it often forgot. Humans did not need to appear powerful. They simply needed to be understood.